Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Mariyam, you're audible.
Okay, how are you all? Shrutika, Simi, Dashla, Sana, Neetu. Are you all doing good?
I'm doing.
Hi, yeah, all good.
You are able to see the slide also, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Okay, so let me know where are you all from. Can you post in the chat box? Where are you all from? Okay, Calicut, Dubai, Kerala, Calicut, Ernakulam, Mumbai, UAE, Qatar, Malappuram, Bengaluru. Okay. And I'm also from Kerala. I'm from Kochi. Just a short intro of me. I'm wife to Rastam, the one you see on the screen. I'm the mother of. The session is recorded, right? Yes. Okay. I'm the mother of Isa, Musa, Aisha, and Fatima. They are the eldest one is 13 years and the youngest is 8 years now. Okay, good to know you all. Okay. And I'm the co-founder of Crink, which is a startup that is focusing on bringing success in families, especially in busy families, by helping you with your mental health and with your parenting. So we are all here because this topic is so relevant to us. Um, what's the relevance of this topic? Why are you all here? Before hearing me, let me hear you. What's the relevance of this topic to you?
Because we want to develop good habits of family.
Okay, that is important to you. Is that for everyone, or is there anything else that you would like to add on?
Better habits build better routine, and better routine bring massive changes in lifestyle, and they make
Hmm.
good students, good person. I think.
Okay, exactly. Anything else to add on? Better habits as a family, says Shrutika. Learning what habits that are not good and what are good. Simi says because of strong family foundation, because a strong family foundation is the key to a civic society. Okay. And for me, the keyword in this title is the word successful because we normally build habits for our family knowingly and also unknowingly we build habits for our family. And every habit is not set with intention. There are habits like, when you set habits for your children, maybe brushing their teeth or waking them up on time. These are all habits that we set intentionally. Can you think of at least one habit that you set unintentionally for your children? Something that becomes their habit, but we have not intentionally set it. Anything like that comes to your mind? Screen time. Exactly, Riswana. Tansia says eating food on table, dining room. What else? Even how we comment about others. Having outside food on weekends, okay. Wishes before sleep, yes. Right. Even how we comment about others, how we react in moments of crisis, these are all learnings that we give, the habits that we set in our children without intentionally meaning it. And for all of us who have gathered here, family is very important. But most of the time, we give priority to other stuff and keep this family matters towards the end. That is because we only have the freedom to keep this aside. We cannot skip our work. We cannot say no to the relatives who are coming in. We cannot, maybe we cannot say no to our friends. But then this is the only thing that we can skip, and that is what happens the majority of the time. So, in this session, let's see what all we need to prioritize for our family as regards to family habits. So today we'll be exploring the 4 big mistakes that we make while building family habits, 2 prerequisites that we need in order to build a strong family, and 11 habits we'll be exploring, along with 3 self-check questions as parents, and we'll be ending with 2 magical change maker habits. Okay, let's start. The 4 big mistakes that we make, or yeah, these mistakes creep into us when we have a vision of building a good, successful family habit. The first mistake is that we just sit back and expect kids to know and do things according to their age. Just note down, okay? I'll be discussing 4 mistakes. Just note down and reflect on yourself whether you are making any of these. Yes, first is expecting age appropriate maturity from them, or just sitting back and expecting that they'll do this because it is their age and they should be doing it. But it doesn't happen majority of the times. Just expecting won't give result. For example, a teenager is supposed to know that they have to pitch into the chores that are happening at home, and they are supposed to be responsible in whatever matters are happening. But then you see that the teenager is not. A toddler, maybe 5 years, 6-year-old child, is expected to behave well in a family function. I normally hear parents saying she is 6-year-old and even now she's throwing tantrum. Hmm? So majority of the times there is a molding that is needed to bring them to our expectation or bring them to their age appropriate expectations. The second is we just force and shout and get things done because making it happen is our only goal. Once this was a mistake that I made. I was so obsessed with the routine habits, with cleanliness. I used to go crazy when the room is not neat. But while accommodating little humans, I understand that in order to make them organized, my main goal is not in getting things done at that particular moment, but in bringing them onto the same page as me and in giving them the space to be a child. Agree? What do you say? Yes or no?
Agreed.
Okay, who else? Okay, that's Sia, Samaya. Now, the third mistake is you model things and you expect them to copy. But that doesn't happen every time your child does something unacceptable. You think, like, where is he getting this? I'm doing just the opposite. I'm showing him, but I don't know from where he's getting these habits. Hmm? So, you modeling is not just enough. Moving on, the fourth one is you focus so much on your relationship. You don't want to disappoint your child, or you fear them getting angry. And so you fail to set boundaries in the right way with them. Boundaries are needed in a lot of situations, and that has to be set rightly. Okay, so if you fail to set boundaries and you give way for everything that your child is demanding, then that is also a mistake. So among these 4 mistakes, could you spot any that you were making from the 4? I told you the one that I was making. Could you spot any? Okay, yes, 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 yes. Who else? Okay, Vismi, Sabita, Tanzia. Oh, now what is actually needed is to set the foundation of empathy, a lot of love, care, empathy, and then model qualities and habits. Don't think that I don't have this quality, so I want this in my children. I get angry very fast, so I want to teach my children to be patient. No, you have to take that extra step and model it to them. Modeling is very necessary. So always be the adult in their life who models that behavior that you want in your children. And on top of that, help them to put it into practice by constantly mentoring them without just expecting. Just a second. Okay. So this is a combination that we need. You need to put them, the last one is to help them, mentor them to put it into practice. And there also, I would say, without uh, just focusing on, or without just expecting too much. Why I say without expecting or without completely focusing on the result is because you are doing your duty, and it is your duty to fulfill your responsibility, right? Everything that you train your child on, you're fulfilling your duty. Once your main focus is on the children, you might get disappointed at times, isn't it? When you do intensely, you try to mold them, but then you are not seeing that perfect child in front of you, you get highly disappointed. Yes, says Asia. And that is where let our effort be such that we are doing it to fulfill our duty, and the result is not in our hands, but once we try it in the right way, the result is sure to come. Mm. So at every point, what matters is that are you putting in the effort in the right direction? So that is how you get things done. Empathy, modeling, and along with that, the right kind of mentoring. So without damaging the emotional health, focus on internal motivation and wrap everything up with the kind of bonding that you have, with the positive relationship that you have with your child, with respect in the family, etc. And for this, you have to be involved in your family in every aspect. So let's explore the two prerequisites that you need to build successful family habits. The first one is having a long-term vision or a bird view.
No,
We may
file
be at
now.
someone's mic is on. Okay, I'm muted. Yes, to have a bird view. So we may be at different stages of our life, like as regards to our family. Some of us will be going through over involvement of others or criticisms and neglect. Some others will be trying hard to bring the family together, bring people together, or trying to make things work. Or perhaps you lost hope after trying for a long time, while some others will be at a peaceful phase. Whatever it be, it is very important to build a long term vision for yourself and your family. A bird view of where you exactly want to take your family to. We all have dreams, and this dream, this vision, this bird view is a hope that will drive you in your bad days, because we'll have both good days and bad days, right? So the vision that you have, the well written vision that you have for your family, that is the one that actually drives you in your down days. Hmm. Because when we want to get there, we strive and we move forward. It is rightly said that the vision has to be greater than the greatest force that is pulling you down. Your vision for your family has to be the greatest, has to be greater than the biggest force that is pulling you down. Hmm? So remember that every time you feel like, I'm not able to, the other one is intervening and all. So we'll all have good days and bad days. And this long-term vision written down, frequently checked and edited, this is the one thing that will help us increase the number of good days over bad days. For example, if in your vision, you want a peaceful family, you wouldn't want to be the one who shows anger and irritation all the times, right? There comes forgiveness, giving each other a second chance, mentoring kids, and you'll be seeking help if you're not able to maintain that peace. So write it down and check it and revise it frequently and keep this as your goal. So my keyword in my vision statement is a peaceful family. So what is it that you would like to have in your vision statement for your family? Any one quality that you would like to have? Just take a few seconds and think about it. Your vision statement for your family. What is that one keyword you'll have? Patience, says Tancia.
Patience.
Hmm. What about others? Any other keyword? God consciousness, faithful pious, understanding, believe in them. contented and peaceful, forgiving, emotionally responsible, understanding problems, respect, conversations, love, caring, respect. Yes, there is a lot of things that we want to
Okay.
achieve in our family. And the first step towards it is to build a vision statement so that we know where we really want to head to. And the second, yes, before going to the second one, imagine a big jigsaw. Okay, two kids are playing with it and they are trying to build that image together. They are trying to put the jigsaw puzzle pieces together and to frame that big picture. What happens if these two children they have two different images in their mind? What happens? Will they succeed? Will they succeed in bringing
No.
that pieces together and coming up with a picture? Okay, they'll
No.
be fighting, there will be conflict, they won't be successful, right? Yes. So that is why a second prerequisite is every member should be communicated your vision and brought to the same page. Otherwise, fights will occur. Especially bring your spouse to your same page. Just an example from my life. Some of you might know I'm homeschooling my children. So homeschooling is not something that we prioritized long back. It all happened not recently, just 6 years back. Um, but my husband wanted that to happen, wanted to homeschool his kids right when my eldest one was born. Okay, he's 13, he's getting into his 14 now. But then he didn't force it on me because I was not on the same page as him. He didn't force it on me. What would happen if I was forced to homeschool my children? What will happen?
There will be conflict.
There'll be a lot of conflict. We'll end up soon. Yes. So instead of that, he gave me time. He gave me the right upskilling. Yes, Chinju said, you may not be convinced. Yes. So he gave me time. But he made sure that I am given the right materials to upskill myself, hmm, to change my viewpoints. And that was not a force at all. So it took so many years for me to even decide to, try out homeschooling for a year. So when you have a vision for your family, it is very important that everyone in your family, especially your spouse, is brought to the same page. One of you having that vision, or one of you might be the one who is initiating the vision, but it is a group work that will make it happen. And this is true for small and big visions, like having a family where disrespectful language is not used. It's a big vision. If not on the same page, you'll be like, you'll be the one who is policing the other members. To have the target of reducing the electricity bill, for example, every member has to be onboarded. That's where your influence plays a role. If you have a greater influence on your family members, you'll be able to onboard them to your vision, which makes the rest of the process very easy. Arisha says equal parenting. Mm, I don't know in what aspect Arisha meant that, but in majority of the times, I don't see there is equal effort that is put in by both the partners. The areas may differ, the intensity may differ, but then there has to be an active involvement by both the partners in different areas of the children to make, parenting go smoother. Okay, so these are the two prerequisites. One is having a long-term vision, and the second one is onboarding every team member or every family member towards that vision. Okay, so that you are not the one who is always going and policing them. Okay, so let's get straight into the habits. A habit, we can say it is a usual way of behaving that a person has settled into. That is a behavior that comes to us involuntarily, I'm sorry. Without thinking much about it, comes out as a habit. So we'll be discussing about two types of habits today. One is routine habits, while the other is behavioral habits. A routine habit can look like, waking up, brushing, etc., etc. But the other type of habit is, can you please mute yourself? Okay, I muted. Okay, we were telling about behavioral habits, right? So, different from routine habits, how we behave in situations, that also becomes our habit. Like how we respond and talk to others, how we respond when we are angry, how we correct things with our children. These are all our habits. Okay. So, routine habits are somewhat easier to implement, while behavior habits will take some time to transform. So we'll see both types of habits, and in between we'll also explore three self-check questions to analyze where we stand as a parent. Okay, from what I discuss, some habits you'll be able to implement right away. Some you'll be able to implement at some point of your life. So just note down everything, and so going ahead, I'll be sharing a few habits that me and Rassam we have tried to implement in our family, and it was highly helpful. Second prerequisite, Sana is asking. Sana, we'll come to that at the end of the session, hopefully. Okay. So the first habit is the sleep schedule of your children. As a new mom, when I got Isa, later when I became a mom of two children, they were just 1 year and 4 months apart. I was not working at that time. And I used to get so overwhelmed after taking care of them. But their sleep schedule was something that was a great boon to me. I used to put kids to sleep early, and as a result, they used to wake up early. Okay. But since I put them to sleep early, I used to get that time from say 7 p.m. at night to the time that I go to bed, 10:30. Till that time, it was completely for me. A woman, a mom, or a man, a dad, wanting time for himself or herself is not a sin. That is a recharge time that we all need. I used to study at that time. I used to have fun. I used to have time with my spouse, etc. during that time. So normally, the time when we try to wake kids up early is one is during the school time when they start their schooling. We have to wake them up early, and the second is if you have a habit of having the morning prayers, that will be one time when you try to wake your children up. So instead of trying to bring this as a habit at that particular time, when your child starts going to school, you try to set this waking up habit. Instead of that, setting this waking up early, making this a habit right from the beginning, that will be a real boon. You can save a lot of your patience as well as your time if you can set this right early. And also now when I homeschool them, I can teach them before going to office. We get a good amount of time in the morning. They get their apt amount of sleep also. So the negative about this is that you don't get any lone time in the morning because children wake up early. You will have to attend to them, and that I replaced it with the night time that I get. So this is also a result of the bird view. We wanted them to be early risers, and we started it right when they are small. So to start with, you won't if your children are getting up late now, this may not happen in a day or two, but then you can start it by slowly putting your children to bed earlier. Start by switching off the lights and going to bed early. Just continue that for 2 weeks. Initially children won't sleep, but then slowly they'll get into the habit of sleeping. And also a warm bath before bed will help them get a good sleep. Making the noontime sleep, if your child has a habit of getting a noontime sleep, you can make it earlier, maybe before 1 p.m. so that they go to bed fast at night. And also a good amount of evening play will help them have a good night's sleep. So for some of you, making sleep early right away can be difficult. So in that case, you can try by bringing 10 minutes or 15 minutes earlier, say every 3 days or every 5 days, and you can try this. Yes, Subhana, I guess your question is answered now. Subhana asked, will we be able to rearrange the sleep cycle now? That is what I intend to by address now. So the second is a controversial topic, especially in Kerala, separating your children's room. We separated when children were very young, and those who are Crink members, you'll already know about that, how we did it and the process and all. So we didn't want the elder one to be affected when the new baby is there. When they see the new baby sleeping near me, we didn't want him to be affected, and this was also one of the result of that bird view that we had. And I don't want you to try this right away without proper guidance, because this has to be done in a way that it doesn't affect your child's emotional health. Without that, you will be able to, but you might need certain guidance there. So we'll be able to do it in a way that even children will be enjoying to move on to their room. And I remember a mother who was taking mentorship with Crink, and what is so unique about Crink is that we provide a mentor or a consultant with you who will guide you in the specific concerns that you are facing. So we helped to move her children to a separate room, and when her slightly before her husband was coming from outside during the vacation time, they have 3 children. And I even now I remember how happily she said that after having the first child, this was the first time that they are getting a loan period like that. Okay, so that can be done in a very nice manner, but then you'll need certain guidance for that. And the third one is, what is the age is the best? Sana, I guess we can have a personal talk on that, because it varies. We started it very early, but then there were a lot of things that were taken care of. So I don't want to reveal that age here. Maybe some of you already know. Let's talk that in person. Okay. Okay. So the third one is one common meal time. This is something that I really struggle with, but then I try to make that happen on a daily basis. On a daily basis, or at least 5 times a week, have one common meal time with your family. Mm. It can be hard when you're busy, when you're having a busy schedule, but then we need to make it. And the other things that we need to take care is just keep aside your gadgets during this time. No one should be using the gadgets. So this is a part of making yourself available for your children on a daily basis. And during this time, have conversations where kids are involved. Don't just come there and talk to your spouse and discuss about the daily matters and go. Have conversations where children can also involve. And also avoid criticisms during this time. Make this a bonding time for you all. It is not a correction time. Have you ever experienced situations when meal times are turning into correction times? Correcting anyone, correcting the adult or correcting the children who are there. Have you experienced something like that? Miss may say sometimes. Sana says yes. Not about others. Yes, says Rukia. So let's see that it's not turning into a correction time, because then children, there are a lot of negatives that happen. One is children won't like being in our company. They'll try to speed up with the food. That will again hinder with so many character problems of theirs. Okay, so at least 5 days a week, or 3 days at least if possible. This would be a great start. Maybe if you are not at all having that, then a 3 day start would be great. Try to have this time as a family where you focus on each and every member there. Your children, your spouse, and the gadgets are all away. And you purposefully make it a bonding time where you don't criticize anyone. Okay? My child says to stop talking. Okay, Tanzia, can you mention the situation there? We'll address that question at the end. Okay, so next is the fourth habit. When our first child, Isa, was 2 months old, we avoided TV. And this is another good decision that we made with that bird view in front. Trust and me, we both were on the same page regarding this. We need to be available for other family members without the TV running in the background. And also, we didn't want uncontrolled exposure to our children. So, same we apply to the gadgets also. It is not that gadgets are completely restricted, but there is no unending usage or unattended searches. Uh, Please don't use screens for feeding your child. To entertain, screens are not an option. To While you give them food, if you want to entertain them, you are the one who has to entertain. A lot of people seek help with Crink to get out of this habit, which they started by giving them screens while you are feeding them. So yeah, we do give them for educational purposes like coding, animation, and they are also up to date with the technology. But Googling and YouTube is not freely available to our children. No anytime searches, and it's hard actually. Every time they have to search something, they'll be bringing it to you. But it's hard. But then that will be really worth. And also, while you give screens, make sure that it is they are using it in a place where anytime you enter, you are able to see the screen. Okay, that is they are maybe they are facing the back towards the door, and the screen is visible. Okay, so keep that also in your mind. Okay, so this is a self-check question before going to the next habit. How would your child describe you to another person? What specific traits would your child mention? Let me know in the chat. Anything that your child mentions about you, your specific character, appreciation. Okay, is it that you appreciate quite often? She's actually comparing with what she sees as in supporting, playing. Okay, what else? Angry. Chef. As I cook to her. Best friend. Sharing. Funny. Okay, funny. Okay, so this is a self-evaluation question that we can positive is that Sumaya Kasim says positive, caring and understanding, negative, over-explaining. While giving medicine, I'm the doctor. Okay. She scolds me since second baby has been born. Okay, Sadia, we need to talk about that. Friendly, logical, but not understanding. Okay. Okay. So this will be a self-check question that we can evaluate ourselves with and correct where needed. To Sadia, when the second one comes, there are a lot of things that you can do to make that a norm for your first one. The first one shouldn't be left behind. There'll be a lot of confusions in the mind of the elder child when the second baby is coming. They'll even doubt whether their parents are loving them, and they want proof for everything. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you can do during that time to make that process, make that period easier for your elder one. Okay, so habit number 5 is mention good about your spouse to your children. Normally, we hear a lot of parents telling negatives about their partner to their children. You are showing your dad's anger. You're disorganized like your mom. Samiha, can you please mute yourself? Such minor comments that we make, no, that create a negative impact about our spouse. At least once in a month, we should have this conversation, like how important your partner is to you. We need to have that conversation with our child, his qualities, his or her qualities, and this will have a great impact. I discuss incidents like, how Rastam gave me a surprise when by coming a day earlier just before the delivery date. how he cares for me, how specifically he considers kids matters, and the qualities that he has. Similarly, he also does his part. I get that from the children. Kids get highly impacted by this, and why this is needed is, one is kids feel a sense of security when they realize that their parents are feeling good about each other. They also develop respect when we tell the positives of the father or the mother. They develop respect towards the other person. And as they value you and your spouse more, they cooperate more to the boundaries that you set. Okay, so this can be a um, slight step, but that has a great impact. Just a second. So the fifth one is a good relationship with your spouse. That is the best thing that you can have. Best thing that you can give your children. So build on the relationship with your spouse. Don't take it for granted. Have time for each other as a couple on a regular basis. How much ever you are connected, invest time and energy in the relationship. Make time for each other. Hear each other. Fill each other with positivity. Appreciate each other, and consider the person who is living with you. When we express our love, like, when you say I love you verbally to your partner feels good, and that's not uh, the only thing that is happening. We also feel good about it. I'm adding on to our relationship. So ask about their health, show care. No no couples will have unending, you know uh, good days. There will definitely be fights. Mm. But when there are fights, choose to fight in private, in the absence of kids. Choosing to be respectful even when you fight. These are the habits that we need to build in ourselves. When we have fights in front of the children, kids feel very insecure. You might solve the issue and everything will be patched up, but that will happen in the bedroom. They won't know it. They'll be still living in that insecurity. They won't know how well you patch things up. So, as far as possible, keep your fights completely private. Okay, now comes the second self-check question. If your child grows up and acquires one quality of yours, what do you want that to be? And what is it, that one quality that you don't want to pass to your child? Let me hear you. Okay, sincerity. Just put a comma and write both. One quality that you want to pass to your child and one quality that you don't want to pass to your child. Okay, you're all telling qualities that you really want to pass. Listening, innocence, respecting the young and the old, integrity, respect, accept the situation, want to think forward, not to get negative thoughts, kind, wanted an open and positive mindset, and don't want getting angry quickly, punctuality, gratitude and anger, truthful anger, empathy, patience, short temper, loving and respecting, ego, being bold, staying true to yourself, quick decision making. Being bold, confirming to everybody. Stop procrastination. Stop procrastination. Patience, sensitivity, God consciousness, punctuality, anger. Okay, let's move on. When children are young, kids are so interested to help us around in the house chores. Normally, people say at that time, boys shouldn't be touching the broom, boys shouldn't do kitchen work. Are you making the small girl do the housework? Hmm? We actually involve children in the household chores right when they were very young. And initially, I should accept those were all mess. Even though they try to help us, it was all mess. But that mess is our investment for our future. And as they grow, they'll be excellent in doing the things and they'll be contributing to the family as active members. Okay, but while involving children, 3 checkpoints that you need to keep in mind is should my child really do it? Can my child do it? Does the child really want to do it? These are the 3 questions that we need to ask yourself. And from the third question, it means you don't have to force your child to do it. If you force, when they grow up, they know things, but then they won't be doing it. So if your child is not involving in chores yet, you can start by just asking the child to wash the plate that he or she used to have food on. Let other family members also do the same so that it becomes a norm. It's not just a task given to your child. Cleaning the dining table after having food. These are all simple steps that you can start with. And this has also helped me as a working mom. Uh, it's not that kids are always perfect. It's not that my kids always keep everything neat. No, it's not like that. They may forget, but I'm confident that if I remind, they'll do. There is no resistance that is coming from their end because that is not forced on them. And that willingness to do things, that is one thing that we need to really develop in children. Okay, folding clothes. Yes, yes, Azia. Maybe we'll have to do it again, but then it's really worth training them. Now, coming to the 8th habit, it is time for moral upliftment as a family. Uh, at one phase, we had a morning time after our prayer. We had a time where we gather as a family and discuss incidents from the religious book, the incidents, the lessons out of that, and we hear kids' perspective on that, and we add on to that. It is not just like a teach and learn lesson, but then we hear the perspectives. We encourage them to think and come up with their opinions. At one phase, we had this every day. At other phase, we had it weekly once. So in whatever frequency you can, whichever book, your religious book or any other moral book, if you can sit with that as a family and discuss and hear your children's perspective, you'll be able to mold their thinking process a lot. Now, the 9th one is express love to your kids. Many people say expressing love can make them disobedient. It's not like that. Instead, this will help children, help us in getting the child's cooperation in things that we want. Every day, verbally, physically, through our expressions, express your love. Smile by showing a positive attitude on your face, the vibe or modulation that you have in your voice, your hug, saying I love you. Touch and hugs uh, are actually proved scientifically to have immense contribution to the child's emotional development and security. I have talked to multiple clients in Crink who say how their partner doesn't express love to them or their children and how hurting it is. So once you start expressing love, they'll also learn to express love back. That is a training for their future also. So every day, this keep this as a target to bond with them, and that will ensure more cooperation from your children. The 10th one is accepting the emotions of the other person. So this is a mistake that again me and Rastam made. So as humans, we go through a lot of emotions. We go through a variety of emotions, and so is a case of our children. Normally, we make kids feel bad for the so-called negative emotion that they are going through. Maybe it's their anger, maybe it's sadness, maybe disappointment. Why are you feeling so? This is so silly. Why should you be so disappointed about that? Just be happy. These are the things that we normally say. But all this is rejecting how your child is feeling. And they feel confused. A child who falls and you say nothing happened, but their leg will be still paining. And when you say nothing happened, they are trying to suppress what they are feeling. And that's not a good thing. Older child who fought with their friend and you say, why are you making fuss out of a small thing? But then these are not small things for your children. These are their big stuff. So when you reject your child's feelings, It is revenge that actually develops inside them. They feel that they are not good and they drown in self criticism. Chaim Kinnett, a psycho. Yes. What I was saying is, Chaim Kinnett, a psychologist, says feelings are not the problem, but the behavior is the problem. All feelings are to be accepted, but then certain behaviors are to be limited. But we, as parents, if you look at your habits, a majority of times, I can say 99% of the parents who have come to me have the same characteristics. Okay, we all try to suppress the feelings that are there. We just focus on their actions. We don't give importance to their feelings. Just check how you correct your child. The child will be so disappointed at something and they'll be crying aloud. But we'll be trying to suppress the crying. We are not focusing on the feeling. So there is a lot of training that is needed to, manage and attend to your child's feelings. People who have continuously taken consultations from Crink, they have successfully achieved this way of attending, how to attend to your child's feelings. And we are specialized in helping you manage yourself and your children. We focus on the result, and that is why we give continuous mentorship of 3 months, of 6 months, so that there is a real transformation that is happening in your family. Now, coming to the 11th one, it is another common mistake. Don't make your child feel bad for what you have done. I was angry because you made me angry. We say, don't make your child feel bad for what you have done, accusing them for your anger, for your tiredness, for overworking, for rash driving because you threw the tantrum. Mm. If you blame like this, the child may internalize this blame, and what happens is, whatever happens in his life or the other's life, he feels that he's on the wrong side. He's doing all the mistakes. Instead of thinking of the solutions, they'll always be focusing on the problem. So, in order, if you want your child to be emotionally healthy, if you don't want to damage your emotional health, let's avoid criticisms like this, where we hold them responsible for the actions that we are doing. Okay, so let's go to these were the 11 habits that I wanted to discuss, and let's move on to 2 magical change maker habits. The first one is start giving respect to each other as a spouse and see the change that is happening in your family. This really creates a magic. And the second is, many times when we want our kids to obey us, we force our rules and punishments on them. If we start that all throughout our life, we'll be forcing and punishing them. And at one point, what happens is children just outgrow whatever punishment we are giving. They start showing everything to us back. You'll see that there is no more peace in the family. Your kids stop fighting with each other once you stop fighting with them. You'll feel more in control. You will definitely feel more in control of the situations once you stop forcing and punishing. The control that has to come out is the control that will come out of respect and love. And I understand that it is not an easy task, but with the right guidance, you will be able to. And we have been helping parents do the same for the past 3 years. So before going into the next self-check question, let's check quickly how Crink is helping parents. I should say, whether we want it or not, kids, they are sure to take a lot of learnings from us, right? From the whole process of how we raise them. And that is why many of us have qualities that we don't want to see in us. We normally say that, I see myself reacting just like how my mother or my father reacted. So that is where Crink is coming and helping you out to break the cycle and to provide a better environment for your children. Okay. So Crink is helping parents to create a positive environment by attending several needs of parents. And one service is that is Parenting Without Frustration. That is a 1-month transformation program. In the first 2 weeks, we guide you to build influence over your child and help you get out of several mistakes in your parenting journey. And those are all unnoticed mistakes that are damaging your family. Several people who have taken it has told me after the first 2 weeks, they have told me these were the mistakes that I didn't know that I was making. It was a real eye opener. These were the feedbacks that we got. And in week 3 and 4, we help you equip with positive disciplining strategies other than punishments and anger. Okay. After the program, you'll feel that you are in control. Kids have started obeying you more, and that you get peace at home without harsh treatments. So this will be a game changer in your family to finally start creating a positive impact that you really wanted to. And the second service is a personal mentorship or the continuous consultation plan. You can discuss your concerns with a consultant, and there will be a personal consultant for you. And they will guide you on a weekly basis with practical strategies. So this is not just about parenting, but the consultant will help you tackle your stress, your anger issues, time management, etc., etc. And they'll help you with your relationships as well, and in a whole lot of areas related to your parenting journey also. Because actually initially we started with the parenting support, but then what we understood is, in order to be a better parent at the end of the day, you need to be a better self, right? And there your emotional health matters, the relationship that you have with others matter. So that is the areas that we are helping you with. And we don't want this to be just a theory. That is where we provide continuous support over 3 months or over 6 months depending on your situation. So don't hesitate to take this support if you are looking forward to creating a real change in your family. Now coming to the last self-check questions. What you wished you got from your parents? One thing that you wished you got differently from your parents. What is it? Honesty, Shema, assertiveness, mindful parent, mindfulness, punctuality, understanding, but they did their best, patience, mindfulness, assertive skill, patience, mindfulness. Okay. So these things, self-esteem, says Shrutika. So these things, why wait? Let's start giving to our children right away so that they won't have a disappointment in their future. And if there is anything that is preventing you from giving that, seek support. That will be the best thing that you can give your children. So we come to the end of this session. Active involvement in our family really matters. With your kids, with your spouse, you have to work as a team, not just blaming the other person. Let's work as a team. And your desire to create a strong family that we all have, and that is why we are here. And let's take a step ahead and do the right things, right skills. Let's put it into action and take the right effort so that we can get it. Okay. And if you need Crink support with Parenting Without Frustration or with Crink's consultation, please go ahead and you can message in Crink's number. Tyson, can you please post the number in the chat box? So don't hesitate to seek support if needed. Just go. After this session, I really want you to take one point that you mentioned here. The thing that you want to stop from your parents, you want to end that with you. Just take that and implement it right away. And see you all in another session. If you have any questions, I can address it now. Neetu says, by attending your webinars, I have started observing than reacting. Thus not taking all scenarios into my brain and so getting less stress. Yes, Neetu, that is definitely the first step to be calmer, because every now and then when we take things into our head, it will keep affecting us. At the same time, just note everything down and attend to the situations once you are calm. See that you attend to the situations in the right way. And I'm so happy that the sessions are turning useful. Okay, any other doubts? Someone had posted earlier, no, the child is scolding the parent back after they got the second child. I guess I addressed to that there a little. When a new baby is coming in the family, we need to take several steps to make sure that the eldest one is having a secure place at home. Even if you don't purposefully show them any negative, but then they'll have a lot of confusion and they assume things at that time. So you need to prove yourself that you really value them. Mm. How to make the teenager to willingly follow the routine, Shrutika? Working on a teenager can be a little challenge because everywhere the reversing process will take some time. So the first thing that you need to work on is to build your influence over your teenager. Do a lot of bonding steps. If you want support with that, please reach out. And once you build your influence over your teenager, then you'll be able to suggest a small task and try to bring them into the routine. So we can help you with that. And also, um, if directly dealing with the teenager would be helpful, we can do that as well. Mustafa says, I pray things vision reach the pinnacle of success. Thank you for your efforts. Thanks a lot, Mustafa. So happy to hear that. 3-year child don't want to hear any explanation. Okay, Tansia. Do you feel that you are over explaining? Does the child hear you explaining over and over again? You were. Okay. But you have stopped now? Okay, that is nice. See, majority of the times, the things that we repeat, our children already know it. We might have explained it hundreds of times. So it's always best to give them slight reminders and slight correction techniques rather than going on and explaining. The thing is, when we explain a lot, it actually gives us a satisfaction that we have finally vented out. But then that is having a negative impact in the child. Let's keep all the things that we have to say, let's keep it to ourselves and give them small reminders and also parallelly build the relationship with them so that when you remind, they take it positively. From the last 6 months, I've stopped. That's good to hear. Scolding my elder one after having a second born. Thank you for your views, but he started distancing himself from me after a few months. How should I damage the control? Sadia, please get in touch with Crink. If it's been without, if it's something that has happened recently, we can quickly reverse it. It is possible to reverse. You might need to take some extra efforts to build on the bonding with the child. And as I said, we need to prove ourselves that we are bonded with them, we are there for them. There are a lot of ways to do that. By assessing more about your situation at home, we can help you out. Shruti, can you please post the number again? Not able to get back to career after having this child, feels like I won't be able to parent properly. Okay, what is your name? Zufi, is that the name? Before getting back to career, we need to set a few things. We need to make our children independent in a lot of areas. We need to give them the right kind of emotional security so that they don't get affected in our absence. We need to set our time management. We need to bring our anger under our control. There are a lot of things that you need to work on. But then once you work on all that, and then when you once your time management is set, when you know how to attend to each situation that is happening with the child, and when you know to control your anger, when all these things are addressed and then you go for work, it will go in a smoother way. You can also reach out in case you want support in any of these. See, going for a job is not the thing that is affecting the children. Even if you are completely available at home 24 into 7, your children will still be affected if you are not doing things in the proper way. If you're not correcting them in the proper way, things will go wrong. If you're not being available, you can be near them, but then you can be scrolling all the time. That's not the real presence that you are giving. So whether you are at home or whether you are working, it doesn't matter if you um, attend to certain important pillars that you need to. If that is addressed, it should be okay.
I don't know.
Okay, any other doubts? My pleasure, Sophie. Any other doubts or shall we wrap up? And thanks a lot for attending this, and I hope the session was useful. In whichever group you are a part of, Crink's group, just post how useful it was and what is your major takeaway from the session. I would like to know that. So see you all in another session. Bye. Take care.
Mm.
സൈക്കിൾ ഓടിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള എൻജോയ്മെന്റ് ഒക്കെ മതി. നിങ്ങളെ
സൈക്കിൾ ഓടിച്ചത്
നിങ്ങളെ കൊണ്ട് ഇവിടെ ഒക്കെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നില്ലേ? ഞാനേ ചെയ്തു തരുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒന്ന് അപ്രീഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് ഓൻ പറയാം മോനിക്കൊന്നും ഇല്ലാന്ന്, ഓൻ പാർക്കിൽ കളിക്കാനൊന്നും ഇല്ല, പാർക്കിൽ പോയി കളിക്കണോ, നമുക്കൊന്നും ഇല്ല എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത്. കളിക്കുന്ന സാധനങ്ങൾ എന്താ കളിക്കുന്നേ? എടുത്തോ.
ഫോൺ വേണ്ട. ഇല്ലല്ലോ.